Boy, oh damn, my collar's all messed up. Joe, you better get right for this joint right here. You better get right for this. Make sure everything's recording. Folks, I probably shouldn't be as happy as I am about what I'm getting ready to share with you, but I can't lie. I'm happy to hear what I've heard and what I'm getting ready to share with all of you. What have I titled this video? We got our man on the run, now arrested, something along them lines. I was thinking about the title all morning ever since getting the news yesterday. Nobody else knows about this. Hell, I didn't even know about this until I was informed in the most crazy of ways. Who am I talking about? I know you guys probably think that it's, well, one of two people probably, or maybe just one person. Folks, we got our man. We got him. Captured. Arrested. Let me begin this by saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Boy, if those aren't words to die on the sword by, or something like that. Folks, who I'm talking about is Brian number one. So we got Jellicoe's dude, Brian here. Brian, hello.
What's up?
Brian's probably a little gun shy. I told him I was filming and I had to ask him if that was okay. And Brian told me he's on TikTok. So I said, well, we got to be okay with that. You remember that guy? Brian number one. AKA Brian Rip You Off Rough. AKA Brian doing rippies in the parking lot with your fucking AC unit. That guy, Brian number one from the very first Flip House. A contractor type of a guy, not really at all, of sorts. Brought to me by none other, well, than somebody else who's actually on the run right now. Quite unfortunate for that situation. But, getting back to Brian, for those of you who may not remember this person, thinking to yourselves, Joe, who are you? Who? Brian number one. There's been a lot of Brians who have come since Brian number one. And Brian number one, two, and three all just weren't that great. Brian number one was the absolute worst. Brian number two, whoo, no good there neither. Brian number three, I think he shit on some plastic in the backyard at Flip House number one. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. Brian number one was one of the first lessons that I ever learned in relation to flipping houses. And the crazy thing is everything started out really good with this guy. Hell, I remember I used to refer to this dude when he first started with me as Mr. Get Shit Done. Well, by the end, he would be Mr. Get Shit and then go on the run. Yeah, that wasn't very funny. This was a guy who was basically like a GC for the first Flip House. Boy, have I learned so much since then. Currently in the process of becoming my own licensed, legitimate contractor. Learning to do as much of the work as I possibly can. Forget hiring somebody else to do what you can and should be able to do. But anyways, Brian number one started out really well. I had no inclination of any type of drug problem with this guy. He didn't give off that type of a vibe. It didn't seem to be that type of a party with him. And I was paying this dude pretty well. I can't remember exactly what I was paying him. Oh, God, I can't remember what I was paying. Maybe $250 a day. Hell, I can't. Actually, no, it wasn't even that. He was just giving me quotes for jobs. And then I was hitting this dude off with quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money. By the time it was all said and done, I'd probably given this dude about $4,000, a little bit more than that, and then he disappeared. And not only did he disappear, a lot of stuff inside of the house would end up missing as well, would come up missing as well. So let me hurry up and get to the point here. I paid this man like something around $4,000. I've got the Cash App receipts to show exactly what it was. And then he was supposed to go get an HVAC system. I think it was a used system he said he could get for like $800. Hell, I didn't know any better back then. So I gave him the $800. He had my box truck. I was allowing him to use that. And then he just disappeared. Took the box truck, took the $800, and I went to the house the very next day and there was a bathroom door that was missing. There was a fuse panel box that was missing, a brand new fuse panel box in the box missing, and a bunch of other small items as well. Now, some kind of a way, Brian got in contact with a few people who follow After Prison Show, and I would learn from one of them that You know, Brian was trying to defend himself against the allegations and the charges that I've put on him, construction fraud and obtaining money under false pretenses. He's got a couple of charges, and I don't even know if the police know that he's arrested. I think that this might be a cold case at this point, and trust me when I tell you, by the time this is all said and done, there will be a follow-up. Joe going to the police station, knocking on the door. Yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine here. I've got some information, some pertinent information about a fugitive. I wouldn't do this in no other case, but damn it, you stole over $4,000 from me, including material. You ain't gonna get away with that. Nah, I ain't going for that. Business is business. And when you do some fraud and you steal and all that, you gotta pay the Pied Piper. So not only did Brian reach out to some folks and try to explain himself, because I think the biggest thing is he was vehement about the fact that he's not a drug addict. And I had posed that suspicion because him committing construction fraud against me was not the first time that he had done it. And in fact, this dude has like 2 or 3 of these type of charges and more. We'll get to that in just a little bit. And when you hear somebody having that type of a track record, you would imagine, you know, maybe there's drugs involved, but he's vehement about the fact that he's not on drugs. He's never been on drugs. We will follow up with that in just a moment. He also said, you know, why would I steal the door and the panel box? Well, because you had the receipt. You could easily go take it back, and you knew you were going on the run, so you needed all the money you could get. And who the hell else was gonna take the shit? We went into the house the next day. That shit was gone, and so were you and my box truck. He would also try to say that I somehow magically edited the video of us going and retrieving the box truck because he says that there was an HVAC system in the back of that box truck. I'm gonna roll the clip right here of us going to retrieve the box truck just to give you a little perspective.
All right, we're about 5 minutes away from where Brian lives at. I text back his son. He knows his Brian's dad. Maybe Brian's dad. I don't all out there. You know, do something together. I wasn't going to no back. Nobody texted me. And I called him. He answered the phone. How on the damn website right now? Looking up, locked up the last day. And you're telling me that Brian's in trouble. That's how we got locked up. And that's what locked up. You know, that's locked up. We got totally good. You know, I'm thinking back to so many conversations this dude had about, you know, he looks like he is very, it's very, I don't know, mysterious. Usually we can find out a lot of stuff, they don't share a lot about themselves. So obviously we keep seeing issues. They got this find out now. Or probably at my place. Everything. You know, we get in contact with there. And, you know, I got some gas in it. I shouldn't have made a joke about this. This is gonna cost me so bad. I feel so bad about this. I'm so sorry. This is not your fault. You didn't do this, dude. And I don't slam it first out the window. You know, trust me, we can get this guy. It's not my fault. Doesn't go me much the house. I'm here, that's fine. There's other work that's done. There's really done. And some work that's not complete yet. And now I make somebody new. They're going to do work that already ain't buying. You're going to pay for work. I'm trying to like right now. Somebody's looking at that. You know, this dude is out there or whatever, I don't know who he is, but it looks like he does that. But it happens to anybody, I guess. There's lots right there. What are these addresses? Oh, here. Oh, probably. I can walk over this one. There's one right there. That's what I did in the shop. I don't know what it looks like. Yeah, I'm walking. Because the front door is open, the dog's barking right there at me through the glass door, and don't nobody want to come to the door. His son who texted me is here. His damn car is there. I know he's there, but what am I gonna do? Let's check the back of this truck. There better be an HVAC system in here, man. Wow. He told me he went and picked up the HVAC system. He told me he went and picked this thing up, man. I sent him, I cashed out him $800
for the HVAC system. And there's nothing in here. You know what's in here? You know what's in here is an inflatable mattress. So I think what he was alleging to whoever he got in contact with was that we go retrieve the box truck, we open it up, oh shit, there is an HVAC system in there. This ain't gonna look good for our, our plight against this guy who's committed construction fraud and stole a bathroom door from me, for God's sakes. Are you sure you're not on drugs? But what he hypothesized or proposed was that we opened the door, the HVAC was there, and then Cody and I, hurried up and moved the HVAC system and then showed the video like there was never Brian says that there was an HVAC system in the back of that truck. So anyways, I'm sharing that with you guys because, this guy just wanted to clear the air about him not being a drug addict, and we'll get to that again in just a little bit. Now, also, Brian would reach out to me shortly after all of this took place, after he ran off, and I started addressing the fact that this guy committed construction fraud against me and ran off with thousands of dollars of mine and a bathroom door. And not only would Brian be reaching out to me, he was actually mocking me, and I want to show you this picture right here. I can't remember exactly what the message was. I'm 4 phones separated from this incident. It was about 2 years ago. But Brian sends me this picture saying something along the lines of, catch me when you can like the gingerbread man. Sorry about your luck. Thanks for the bathroom door. So let that, serve to more of why I'm happy about this situation. Not only did this man do this, he wasn't even apologetic about this when this took place. This man was mocking me. Damn. A while later, and this was before Brian got in contact with some people who rock with AfterPrisonShow, he would actually reach out to me. This was probably about a year ago. And he reaches out to me and he's telling me a couple of things, to prove that it's him. He's hitting me up from some bogus number. And basically what he was saying was, hey, he wanted to make the situation right. He wanted to get me back my money. And when his taxes came in, he was going to do that. And I said, hey, look, man, I ain't got no time for this conversation right here. I've already got charges pressed against you. Take it up with the judge. I don't believe that I'll ever see a dime from you. And I don't believe even at this point that I'll ever see any restitution from this. Maybe I will, but now that he's been apprehended, but probably not. So anyways, that's the backstory to all of this. Now, what happened? I was under the impression, based upon that picture of him hiking the Adirondack Trail somewhere, that this man was never going to get caught. Well, interestingly enough, I was on TikTok just yesterday. For those of you who don't know, I've got a pretty popular After Prison Show TikTok up there. You should check that out. It's crazy. I don't even try on TikTok. I just post videos that I do for After Prison Show on TikTok, and sometimes them things blow up, and man, I got like 200,000. But anyways, I was on TikTok, I was checking some messages, and I don't usually, do anything with the messages there. But I get a message from a woman, and I want to share this message with you. I told her after the fact, hey, look, I'm going to be addressing this situation. She's even, I believe, willing to share her perspective on this situation, and that could be a part of the follow-up as well. You guys let me know if you want to hear her side of this story. But this woman would message me Sunday at 9:42 at night. I was already asleep. I saw this Monday at 3:01 in the afternoon. She says, hi, I remember seeing your Facebook post. I tried to message you on Facebook, but I don't think you've seen. Brian Rip You Off Rough. She just said Brian Ruff. Has been arrested. Now, I didn't know whether this was real or not. I didn't know if this was Brian trying to throw me off the scent. Because I've not really been like a bloodhound. This chick was like a bloodhound, though. And I didn't know if this was legit or not. So I just messaged her back the next day and I said, hey, sorry I didn't see your message on Facebook. Wow, that's crazy. I had no idea. How did you hear about his arrest? The woman would message me back and said, I helped make it happen. Oh boy, hell hath no fury like that woman's scorn. You remember that line? Yep, that's what I was talking about right here. I messaged her back and I was like, wow, What city was he arrested in? Because at this point, I'm looking for his mugshot. I'm in Virginia Beach. I'm in Chesapeake. I'm in Portsmouth. I can't find this man nowhere, so I still don't know whether or not this is legit. She hit me back and she told me where he was arrested at. Out of state, North Carolina. He's scheduled for court very soon, and I expect extradition back to Virginia Beach. She said, I expect extradition back to Virginia Beach. But I'm happy to keep you posted. He has screwed over way too many people, including me, with no consequences. First of all, before we get into all of that, when he gets back up here, woo-hoo, could you imagine the random stranger visit that we could do? Brian, why'd you do it? I know what you guys are saying, Joe. You need to stop talking to people when they've got an open case. But this one is totally different because I'm the victim in this case. And you know what's crazy is I've got a little bit of wiggle room with that particular jail. I might be able to get the in-person visit. Now, he would have to agree to it, which there's no way in hell that he would because he knows I'm coming up in there with the cameras. Now, folks, let me just continue real quick. So when I hear what this woman says, you know, he screwed way too many people over. Like I said, he's got like 2 or 3 construction fraud charges. And again, for those of you who don't know, you're probably like still a little confused about this. When this man bounced with my money, with my make-believe HVAC system, or at least the money for that, and also my bathroom door, and miscellaneous shark bite plumbing pieces, the reason why he would do this, and I would find out after the fact, is because he was scheduled to go to court for another construction fraud charge that he bounced on the court date, went on the run, and became a fugitive from justice. He had a failure to appear. I wonder how much time he's going to get for that, mixed on top of all of these construction fraud charges. Probably not shit for the failure to appear. Maybe like an extra 10 days, maybe an extra month. But it definitely doesn't look good when you've already got some moderately serious charges. And then a couple of them at that. It's not like you got one. Okay, yeah, you made a mistake. Dog, you got a track record of these joints, right? And I guess we can go ahead and get into the whole drug thing, right? The vehemently denying the fact that you've got a drug problem. The fact that you say adamantly, I don't do drugs at all. Do you know? Like, you might as well, you silly dude, you should have at least, even if you don't got no drug problem at all, you should have at least, do I got the black background going with this video? You should have at least acted like you did. Why? Because at least then it would make a little bit more sense and maybe somebody might be inclined to feel sorry for you. Oh, he's got a drug problem. It makes perfect sense why he was doing these things. But you vehemently deny you ain't got no drug problem. And I believe you. Because like I said, when I knew you and I met you, you didn't come across like any type of a addictive mentality at all. And trust me, I should know. I've been around these type of things, the addiction at least, quite a bit. And I'm always quick to think that somebody's using, at least more so now. But the fact of the matter is if you didn't have a drug problem, then that means you were just addicted to being a con man. Or you were just a con man by nature, right? Like there's no justification. It wasn't, hey, look, I had a drug problem that caused me to do this. Like I need to feed that demon and I wasn't thinking about the consequences. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. You were like, what did you think that you were? Like some kind of a professional scam artist? He has screwed over way too many people, including me, with no consequences. I would respond, holy cow, I had no idea. I can imagine, though, he seems to have a long track record of screwing people over. She responded, he really does. I said, well, thank you for the update. I'm going to try to look him up now. LOL, found him. Could I ask what happened? Did you turn him in? I'm glad to see that he's locked up. She would respond saying, I came before you, actually. LOL, I'm an ex-girlfriend. He stole my identity while we were together. I've been trying to track him down and finally was able to do so by finding out who his current girlfriend is. I filled her in and she made the call. So not only were you committing construction fraud, probably robbing old ladies for God only knows what, Dude, you stole the identity of your girlfriend. You are, whew, boy, hey, boy, this joint don't look good at all. And shorty girl got you like a basset hound. And your girl went against you too. She would continue saying it didn't take a lot of convincing. He hadn't scammed her financially, but he wasn't good to her in other ways. She was eager to pull that trigger. Whoa. Whoa, boy. Your whole world came crashing down around you. It was just a year ago you were sending me this picture from Arizona somewhere, telling me you was never going, where you lay your hat is your home and you's a rolling stone. They got you. You're caught now. Oh, wow, I would say. I had no idea. What a piece of shit. And good for you. I can't wait to see how this plays out. We'll definitely be addressing this soon, and we'll leave you anonymous. He deserves to sit down for a while because he has screwed over a lot of people. She said, please do what you need to do, and I'm happy to help in any way. He's hurt way too many people. By the way, I sent a pic of his arrest on Facebook Messenger. Zoom in on his face. LOL. Thank you. I would not have known otherwise. I will look on Messenger for the picture. LOL. Folks, let me get ready to share with you the most recent mugshot of Brian doing rippies in the parking lot with your fucking HVAC unit. Rough. Look at this guy. Boy, this is the face of a dude who looks like he has seen it all. Never could imagine that girl would call the police on you. Turn you in. Did you tell her you were wanted? You probably didn't. Ooh, God, you probably didn't. But your ex-girlfriend sure did. And now you're sitting down, getting ready for extradition. Back up these parts. And I can't wait for you to get up here because I can definitely random stranger visit you when you get where you're going. So here's the crazy thing. Couple of things real quick. One, I guarantee you Brian's sitting down there locked up in North Carolina thinking to himself, man, I hope to God Joe from After Prison Show don't find out that I'm locked up. Guarantee he's in contact with somebody who's going to let him know about this video right here. Brian, hello to you, sir. I will be in contact quite soon. Also, what are the police doing about this? Has my construction fraud charges and obtaining money under false pretenses become a cold case at this point? Am I going to have to do the work for these detectives? Well, damn it, I certainly will. Tomorrow, I'll be knocking on the police station door saying, guess what? I know where this guy is. He's arrested. Thanks for doing your job. Now where are we going from here, I guess I should say. Like I said at the beginning of this, I'm just a little too happy about this. I wouldn't wish incarceration on anybody. But you know what's crazy is sometimes people, they deserve that shit. There's gonna be people watching this video like, Joe, boy, you ain't right for this. But let me tell you something. If somebody steals $4,000 in cash from you, what you gonna wanna do about it? Shit, I'm gonna go hold court in the street. I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna do that actually myself in the courtroom. In the courtroom. I'll be pointing that 45 finger at his ass. Paka, 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 that's him. What I mean by that. And from the witness stand, you know what I mean, pointing the finger. Dude, vehemently denies the fact that he's had a drug problem. There is no pity party for this. You're just rotten to the core. And for that, you deserve everything that you're about to get. Judicially. I hope you do get a little bit of time. And when it's all said and done, I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck to you. You have served your debt to society and to me as a victim, whatever that may be. Folks, I am happy to be able to report that Brian, Rip You Off Rough, has been apprehended. America's Most Wanted, no longer. And I'll be eager to share with you whatever comes next. Will we get the interview with the ex-girlfriend? Hear her piece? Maybe, maybe not. But I can guarantee you one thing. There's definitely going to be more coming on this. More developments as they unfold. I'll certainly be sharing with you. Hey, thanks for taking the time to check this out. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, nor anybody else. And make the most of every day. Peace!